This is the plaintiff, Christina Williams. She says the defendant, her mother, owes her money for a cell phone bill and hasn't paid her, so here they are. She thinks her kids are supposed to take care of her and pay all of her bills. The woman's no mother to her, and she no longer wishes to speak to her after this case and for the rest of her life. She's suing for $1,664.49, the money she's owed. And when this is over, they are done. This is the defendant, Eloise Swaby. She says she went to live with the plaintiff and took care of her son, and her daughter treated her like a slave. She would go out and party, go on vacation, and not pay her bills. After 5 months, she decided she wanted to move out. That's when the real trouble started. Bottom line, they had an agreement about the phone bill. Her daughter's a spiteful woman, and now it's up to the judge to sort all of this out. She's accused of dissing her daughter.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff is suing her mother over a cell phone bill and vows this is the last time she will see her. But the defendant says she took care of the plaintiff's son and the plaintiff was just ridiculously irresponsible. It's the case of don't phone home anymore.
Thank you, Douglas. Christina Williams?
Yes.
You are suing your mother, Eloise Swaby,
Yes, ma'am.
for $1,664.49 that you say she owes you for a telephone and that she refuses to pay. Tell me what's happening.
Initially, my mother asked me if I could take a phone out for her. This is not the first time, but I said yes. I told her that I was going to
Why can't she just get a phone in her own name?
She doesn't have good credit.
So you agreed to put a phone line for her in your name?
Yes.
Okay.
And she agreed that she would pay the bill.
Okay. When did you do that?
I did that on September 9th,
Of what year?
2015.
And what happens when the first bill comes in?
She explains that she doesn't have the money, that she'll pay me next month. Next month, it was the same story.
So you just paid her phone bill?
I paid her phone bill
All
up
right.
until July.
What happens in July of 2016?
Verizon lets me know if I don't pay for the actual phone itself, that they're going to disconnect my line.
Now, from September until that January, had she ever paid the phone bill?
I've been paying the phone bill and paying other bills for her as well.
Okay, was she living with you?
Yes, she was.
Was she taking care of your kid or something?
No, she was not.
Do you have a kid?
I do have a kid.
How old?
He's 7 years old.
Okay, so were you angry?
Absolutely.
Because now you're paying the bill and now you're paying an extra $25 on the bill.
Yes.
And that goes on until July. What happens in July?
July is when the suspension was over. They only allow you to suspend a line for a couple of days.
Oh, when did
or a
you
couple of
suspend the
weeks.
line and
I
why?
suspended it in probably January.
Why did you suspend it in January?
My mom, she's not a regular mom. She started ruckus in my house, and I decided
so?
to tell her. She decided to tell my business, or really not more so my business. She decided to make up lies, and she ran with it. And she said this stuff to an ex-boyfriend of mine, which she had no place of doing. And so therefore, I told her, you know, it's time for you to go.
Okay.
You don't pay. She's never paid a bill.
Okay.
Ever.
All right. So that's in January. And January is the same month where she upgraded the phone.
She upgraded in the beginning of the month.
Okay. So who pays the January bill?
I paid the January.
And February?
I did.
And March?
Yep.
You pay April?
Yep.
When do you stop paying?
I stopped paying once they send me the shut-off fee for I believe it was like $590 or $560. They wanted that in one lump sum.
Wait, but they don't know to shut it off unless you stop paying. So what happened first? So how did the phone issue come to a head?
I suspended the line.
When did you suspend the line?
I want to say I suspended the line in April.
Okay, why did you suspend the line?
Because we got into the big argument.
So you suspend the line in April, and they only let you suspend it for a certain amount of time. That
Yes.
time is up in July, and in July they tell you either you proceed or you pay the disconnect fee
Yes.
for having broken the contract.
Yes.
Okay, how much was the fee?
What I still own the phone is $560.94.
Says who, and what's the $564? Is that for the disconnect fee or for the upgraded phone?
That's for the upgraded phone.
What?
They're not even charging me a disconnect fee.
What's going on between you and your daughter, ma'am?
What really took place is that in the summer of last year, my daughter was going through a bad time in Hartford, and I asked her to send me my grandson. She drove and brought my grandson to me He spent the summer with me. Through the summer, she was going through an issue where she was drinking and driving. She run up into a light pole because she was drunk. So I told her, it's time for you to leave Hartford. Come stay with me in Panama City until you get yourself together.
In Florida.
In Florida. She came and she stayed with me. When she came, she said she don't want to live in Panama City because it's too quiet, because it's a country.
Mm-hmm.
So she said she wanted to move to Orlando. So I said, okay. She said if I could move to Orlando with her to take care of my grandson. I said, no problem, but we got to work around the working thing because I'm a very independent person. So when she came, I have a cell phone. I was paying my bill every month. I have a cell phone with Boost Mobile. So I wasn't getting a good service. So I asked her politely if she could put me on her service. And she said, yes, she can.
Why couldn't you just get her, switch to her service? Because you don't have good credit.
I don't have good credit to
Okay.
go with.
All right, but since, according to her, you're supposed to be paying those bills, and you didn't pay any of
I
them.
was paying my bill before I leave Panama City because I was doing 2 jobs. So I was paying my
But
bill.
once, according to you then, once you moved to Orlando, then you didn't
She
pay?
agreed to pay all my bills when I moved to Orlando.
Because you
was-
were going to help to take care of her son.
Right, and I wasn't working
Okay.
then. So it take a while for me to get a job. So she was paying for my car note, my car insurance, my furniture bill, and other bills.
And then what happens?
After a while, we live in Orlando. She started where she don't want me to work. She want me to stay home all the time to take care of my grandson, where she don't want to work. She just want to go away on vacations all the time.
Well, who's going to pay to eat? Who's going to buy food and stuff?
She do.
Well, with what money if she's not working?
She got money.
Where does she get the money from if she's not working?
She got a couple lawsuits. She
Lawsuits aren't a form of
she-
income, folks.
she-
This is not a career move.
She got money where her baby father take care of her.
She gets mad at you because you're talking to an ex-boyfriend. Is it the baby's father?
No,
A different ex-boyfriend? Like who?
the ex-boyfriend is the baby's father.
Why are you talking about your daughter to your daughter's ex-boyfriend?
No, he was talking to me.
Well, why are you talking? Why are you talking? Why are you
He
talking?
was talking to me.
Okay, but why are you talking at all?
But when he was talking to me, I said to him, I said, the reason why the family do not like you, her sisters do not like you because you're a leech. You leech off my daughter.
Why are you talking to him at all?
Me and him was in the house together, and he started talking about her.
We're talking about the ex-boyfriend.
He was there.
The
Before
ex-boyfriend was not an ex?
he wasn't an ex then.
He was a present boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So he's living there, and you tell him her sisters don't like you because you're a leech. Go
You're
on.
a leech.
All
You're
right.
leeching off my daughter. And he sit there, he talk a bunch of crap about her, and then he went back to her and tell her that I was the one who was saying these things.
Okay.
Where
So at some point, it's clear that you're no longer welcome to live there. You
I
leave, and
told
where do
her.
you go? You go back to Panama City?
I told her that I'm leaving.
Perfect.
I moved back to Tampa because I was living in Tampa.
Great. So now you're in Tampa, and you get a job?
I have a job in Orlando, so I was driving back and forth
That's
from
fabulous. So are you paying your own phone bill?
Tampa. At that time, I wasn't paying.
Why not?
That phone because she disconnected the phone.
When did she disconnect the phone? February?
The phone was officially disconnected
In February?
in July. It was on suspension.
Suspended. When did you suspend
It was suspended roughly around March or April, because that's when the big blowout took place.
March
All right,
or April,
So
I was
you're not
living.
paying it because she suspended it, and she suspended it because you're not paying it. Who physically has the phone?
Sprint.
Why?
Because when I told her I'm leaving and she told me to pack my stuff and go, I asked her, I said, are you going to disconnect the phone? She said no. I was driving down the road to go to a hotel, talking to my mom on the phone. The phone got disconnected, so I went to Sprint to get a phone. And when I went to Sprint to get the phone, they called her and asked her for her PIN number and her account number to pay off for the phone. And she
What
told
do you mean to pay off for the phone?
where you could trade your phone into a company and they pay off $650 for the phone.
Just for you switching to a different carrier?
Different carrier.
And she wouldn't do that?
And she wouldn't do
Did that
that.
happen?
Because she said she
Did that
didn't want
happen?
me to have the phone number.
Did that happen?
She wanted my account number as well as my password once again. I wasn't giving it up. Later on down the line, we started talking again, being cordial with each other. And she gave me the employee's number. I called him. We never got anywhere.
Well, by then it was too late because she already got a phone. So
told
now
them-
there's what? Show me what the bills you brought to court.
This is well, I never received.
So what did you end up doing physically with the phone? You traded it in for something else?
Yeah, because they called
Okay,
her.
so you got, wait, but just hold on a second. So you got this upgraded phone and you got the benefit of it by being able to trade it in to get another phone. So why wouldn't you have to pay for that phone?
Because they called her to change.
No, the
for
fact that you could have scammed, why would that absolve you from having to pay for a phone that you got, kept, and used towards another phone? Like, you did get the benefit of it.
No, first of all, they called her. She told them that she was going to go down. She was going to go to the office to give them the.
Okay, that's lovely. You're not listening to me at all.
So is it ever a good idea for a mother and daughter just to cut ties?
Yeah, I think in the case of tough love, it is. You know,
Cut ties, cut ties.
it depends on, forever or,
Forever.
I don't know, there would have to be some major issues there.
There are, going inside the courtroom.
I hear you, and I believe you, that there was a time when if everybody was cooperating, all she had to do was work with you and get that thing out of your name and they would pay. It doesn't matter, that ship sailed. So now you're just like everybody else who is in possession of a really expensive phone that hasn't been paid for. You kept it, you did not turn it into her. You kept it and then you used it to get the phone you have now. So you have the benefit of it. Why, when now you've got a job where you're living in one city, you're working in another, why is it you wouldn't have to pay for it? It doesn't make any sense. What is it you're suing for? Why are you suing for $1,664.49? I see the $560, but what's the rest of it?
Those are the bills from the initial date of September 9th.
Oh, you're out of your mind. From 2015? First of all, you didn't even bring me those, so let's start with that.
I can explain why I didn't bring that to you because I never did anything paper-wise. Everything was through the computer. And
So?
each paper that I presented to you, I had to pay $5 for with Verizon. So if I wanted all the bills that she had accrued from.
Why don't you just create an online account and print it out?
No, once you're no longer with this, I have.
Oh, 'cause you're no longer with them?
Online account with
Okay,
them.
but
once
that
you're no longer-
doesn't absolve you of the responsibility
them.
to bring evidence to court. I
That-
can't do anything
the
with that.
first
But plus,
page-
you know why I'm not going to do it? Let me ease your mind.
Okay.
You did the right thing in not spending those $5 a statement, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't believe that she was supposed to pay those bills.
Okay.
I believe that while everybody's getting along and, you've got childcare built in and all that's working out, that's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. And the evidence of it is that year after year, it was part of the deal. Year after year, you're not canceling the phone. It's only when your mother starts to talk to your boyfriend and cause a problem and you tell her she's got to go, that's when all of a sudden we have a suspension and then a cancellation. But before that, there was no suspension or cancellation for your mom not paying her bills for a year and a half because your mom wasn't supposed to pay her bills for a year and a half. So I am going to rule in your favor in the amount of the $560.94 because she did get the benefit of the phone. She never returned that to you, but not on the monthly bills. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks. Can I ask you a question? How old's your son?
My son is 7, but can I
And
say
no,
something?
you can't talk to me about my money. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. No, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
When was the last time your son saw his grandmother? Is she welcome to see him or no?
No.
Do you ever think about that?
Can I defend
No.
myself?
Can you answer what I'm asking? Do you ever think about that? Because as a mother to mother,
Yep.
it's even if we don't get along,
Yep.
okay? Isn't it always better to have more people loving your child?
She doesn't love my child.
No. I love my
I
grandson to
I
death.
have proof of voicemails.
I love my grandkid. I got
She
6
said
grandkids.
out of her own mouth.
I got 1 live with me right now. 2 live with me, and a great-grandchild live
Okay.
with me. I love my grandkids to death. I love that little boy
What
to
did you leave on
death.
her recording?
Ma'am?
What did you leave on her recording?
I didn't leave nothing on a recording.
Let me tell you something.
His
This
grandmother.
moment's going to pass. For me, it's going to pass right this second because I'm going to start walking so you can put your hand down.
Okay.
But for you guys, it's not going to pass. And for the sake of that little boy, I strongly suggest that with a little more time between today's date and the date that you think about this, that you think of the little boy as opposed to of yourselves and whatever problem you two are having over a phone and over some trash talking. She's right. You shouldn't be talking to her boyfriend and saying stuff. Okay? You're living there at her mercy. And then at some point, you just need to get over it and not deprive your child of a grandmother over that. Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiff prevails for a little over $500, much less than what she was actually seeking. Ms. Wabi, if you step over here, right here, please. Let me just ask you a question about the relationship between you and your daughter. I mean, you've heard the judge, what she just said to you. How do you feel about this relationship?
Well, we used to have a good relationship,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened to her, but I would love to see my grandson.
We can all understand that. She said up front she didn't want to see you again or have anything to do with you.
I don't want to have anything to do with her because she
And
brought
you
me
don't
to court.
You don't either.
No, I don't.
So as far as you're concerned, it's over?
It's over. It's
Really?
done. She's not my child no more.
That's such a shame.
Yeah, I crossed her off. She's not my child.
Thank you very much. You just said she's a joke.
Yes, she's a joke. She's
Why do you say that?
She's comical. She's comical. She just stood up there and she outright lied. She didn't pay for her phone. This lady has been using me.
Don't go over the case again. You did
She's
prevail.
been using me since the day I've been able to talk. This lady has been using me.
What happens from now
And then she says
on?
that she loves my son.
She-
She told me to my face that if my son wasn't my child, she wouldn't have anything to do with him. So all of this was just a show. God bless her.
So you're done with her?
I would never in my life ever talk to her. If she was on fire and it took for me to spit to put it out, I would walk by.
Wow. That's tough. Harvey?
Doug, you know, what's really sad here is that the loser in this case, honestly, is the grandkid. That kid doesn't have a grandmother now.